And we're looking at Clearfield.
Yes.
This was, he wanted us to specifically look at it.
Well,
on
he
our
asked,
Apple map.
he asked everybody to,
Okay, all right,
so I don't know if we had an issue or not.
okay, let's check, well, look, we've got it,
Looks like just about whole.
Okay, he said it was split like 4 ways last time. And so can you tell us how many are in that little piece that's in District 11?
I certainly can.
is there room 1200, something, is that right?
Yeah, I can't. Well, I guess it could be, but
And some of those might be in Hill, it looks like.
Uh-huh,
Let's see, the district of, so the portion of District 11.
that's Clearfield, so we only have that one little piece, so,
So it's 700 people.
713.
The rest of Clearfield's all in one district.
so 713 is in that little green piece, right?
And what's our deviation of District 11?
Oh. 77 over. It's the little part of the street in Quebec.
Probably just
I think it was when I hit undo, it just didn't take
No.
the whole group at a time. So 77 is our deviation, that's 700
Okay,
people.
did use the match a little bit more, 2 times more. Okay, so, all right, so we have all of Clearfield, except for those 2 of the pieces.
So.
What was it, 770, what? How many?
I believe
Sorry.
it was 7.
717,
I'm gonna check again.
sorry.
No worries. $713.
And the total population of Clearfield is
30 some odd thousand, I believe. 30, just under 32.
Okay, so 11.
so show me what's, show me the Layton boundary, if you would. So Layton is in 4 districts. No, I don't want to put Layton 5. Layton had to be in at least 2. That's Layton.
And just Clearfield about that is right.
Yeah, so Clearfield and Layton share a boundary, right? Just along this little portion here, so the blue is all along that boundary right here.
I think there's some sense in that line. That piece of Clearfield seems to be more connected with Hill Air Force Base. With that on the side there.
Yeah. Don't know why. I was just seeing more if I could see where the blocks the houses were.
They're all down in that neighborhood. And so what we're doing is we're not splitting that neighborhood up.
Yeah, I think that was one of the things perhaps that we looked at. And look right there at that line, if we would have gone with that line, we would have split up that neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, right in the middle.
Liberty Street.
So I'm actually okay. I'm glad we looked at it, but I'd rather not split that neighborhood up.
And that's the only piece outside Clearfield.
That's the only piece outside of Clearfield. Yeah, I guess if we wanted, we could put those 0 pieces back in Clearfield, but I think the lines is cleaner with the 0 pieces.
And I guess there
in the
is
other
just
district.
one thing that we could do.
Yes.
So if you'll go move the map down a little bit, so I guess the one thing we could do, do we by chance have a pointer over there?
Yeah, have our pointers
I
disappeared?
think that
They
the
cleaned up.
next door commissioners may have
What?
grabbed a couple off the table when we arrived.
Okay, I'll try not to let it, affect me, but what if, okay, so go down just a little bit, so I'm just saying, what if we did take that top part, so go down just a little bit, so, move the map down the other way, or up the other way, there we go. So that piece is that part, that we take even that black piece,
Right here.
and we add all of that back into 13. And then we figure out a way to make it up on the other side somewhere. That way we keep Clearfield whole, and we keep that neighborhood whole. But
I'm not, we'll either have to,
what does it accomplish?
we would then have to split probably Layton again.
Right, because then you have all of this blue, all of the blue is in either Layton or Clearfield. So if we added Clearfield, we'd have to take from Layton.
We could move the blue into the 11, but that would make Layton, it'd be broke up 5 times instead of 4.
Well, I do agree that it's a good split. You're on I-15. I'm assuming that's part of Hill.
Yeah.
So I guess you could argue more for keeping Hill together.
Yeah.
Could we look at that up close on the,
Just over here.
yeah, let's go to one of our views through a
Like looking
Oh,
at houses.
base map, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at the imagery. Thank you.
Sorry, I'll go grab my mouse at some point. Do less clicks all the time.
And there's one entrance, well, I guess there are 2 entrances into that neighborhood, basically.
So if I'm looking at it, it looks like. So that's our line on our,
So those are the city
the
boundaries.
city boundaries.
No, so it follows I-15, this little corner, and then it follows the city
Yeah,
boundaries.
okay, so if you'll just go down, yeah, so are we splitting that neighborhood then?
Right here.
Oh, no, that's-
But it looks like the driveways are facing that way, not that way.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and it does look like
So I
very much
still think,
no one faces this road.
yeah, so I do think it makes more sense actually to keep that in Hill. Okay. Should we look at,
Roosevelt.
or Kaysville, just to see if there was something? that we
Yeah,
could
let's
look at?
look
Kaysville?
at Cageville. Excuse me.
Pretty similar,
Piece.
largely intact.
Areas to the left, you pick up essentially nobody. Pick up some up there.
So we're, gotta remember where, what is here, right?
There are about 14 cities up there.
Right. I'm gonna give it one guess, and if I'm wrong, I'll go from there. Not even close.
So there it goes up on that hill,
That's-
I think.
Yep. All right, well, I tried. But it does look like
If there were a way that we could,
there are some, I mean, there are people there.
Yeah, the problem is that we ran out of people for District 14. In District 16, we could maybe. Is there a place where District 15 and District 18 come together over there on the right? Oh, that's Fruit Heights, and is that whole?
Fruit Heights, I believe, is whole.
So that was the trade-off. If Fruit Heights is whole, then Cagesville can't be quite whole.
So, and let's see what we did to Farmington, what. Farmington's whole. Okay, so I'm just trying to think, is there any way that we can keep Cagesville? Like, what's outside of Farmington, where that 1920 is there any way we can go into some of those?
I think if we zoom in, they'll all turn to zeros.
Is it, okay.
Yeah.
5 and 4, 26.
They're not 700.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
Surely, yeah.
And how many people are in that little section?
That's exactly, I was wondering how it, especially how it lines
I
up
look at
compared
that
to
tiny
Fruit
little
Heights
piece
population.
right there. Oh, I guess that's the red, there's a discrepancy there.
So from District 18,
Oops, you want to District.
Oh.
On this side, yeah, sorry.
thank you. Just under, yeah, just 1800, yeah.
The place where we could get 1,800 people is up there above on the left, but then we'd have an island.
Up there on the left, which way?
Where the 3681 is.
Oh, yeah,
I'm guessing there may be 1,800 people
yeah.
there, but
Right, because you need to put them at 18, so you'd have to go through the lake.
yeah,
And even though it would technically be an island, it would be pretty close.
And so in that 3198 is all zeros.
yeah.
Yeah, right here. As soon as we get in one more layer.
Oh, man, that little Caseville piece does.
So how, did we use good roads in dividing it?
Well, starting from over here.
So Shepherd Lane,
It's
it's actually pretty good
yeah,
divided.
Western Drive. It looks like all these houses face, yeah.
So the lines are okay, other than, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the same.
just let's say, yeah.
I was gonna see. It looks like there's not. I was wondering if there. Oh, I guess. I was wondering if, like, it may well be that these neighborhoods. I mean, they're so close to each other, even over the city boundaries. Like, there's still some sense of
Community
a larger
there.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, let's look at that on the base map and see.
So I guess they are separate neighborhoods.
Did anybody draw us a community of interest here by any chance?
What did I know about this? This part of Kaysville.
I will cycle through them real quick and see if we don't see anything telling. Turn off the districts for a second.
That is part of the marker environment.
Yeah, they seem to have taken not all of Kaysville, but some of it. So I think this is Farmington because I know we had one tabling event in Farmington and they were whole, so they just circled the city and said, keep it that way, please.
So somebody wanted to keep it this way?
Well, it was somebody just wanted to make sure Farmington's whole in with the
Oh,
current
okay,
boundaries. So
okay,
I was gonna say, it
So-
overlaps a little, but I think it wasn't intentional as far as
Yeah.
larger circle.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
nobody seems to put anything specific for that portion or Kaysville in general.
Roger that.
Yeah, and
Anything else on the Senate map?
I-
We need to look
This is the
at?
house. Let's
house?
look at Roosevelt real quick. I'm pretty sure there's not something that we can easily do.
Yeah.
Because we looked at it earlier.
What was the comment received?
How's it going?
So-
Yes, need
Hi,
anything?
Joey.
If-
Go ahead.
If you randomly wanted to bring me my mouse from my desk, I would not say
Are
no.
you using the trackpad?
Yes,
Oh my goodness, but why didn't you text me?
I thought about it and I was like, that's so lazy.
I'll
though.
get you your house.
Oh, thanks, Joey. What was the comment regarding Roosevelt?
That they wanted to be,
In Duchesne. And not
how could we,
But see, the problem is, that, you know, we'd have to go down into Grand
Or
to pick up the population.
further into, or lots of swamps, yeah.
There's not, I mean, there's a reason that virtually every one of our maps
has Roosevelt?
has Roosevelt over there with Daggett.
Yeah, that's tough.
Especially with that population, that's like a lot of grand to then have to
Yeah,
split.
I mean, we're talking nearly 7,000 people. It does make it, you know, not very likely that there's gonna be somebody coming out of Roosevelt, but not impossible.
Right. So everybody's, do the other side of that, to do this to the.
Yeah.
But all the other two.
We could check if we do wanna
Let's just check just to see.
see what they did with Roosevelt.
Yeah, you could just go to the webpage.
Oh, excellent. A brilliant suggestion. I always think these maps are still a little slow because when we had all of them on,
Oh,
it would load
yeah.
not quickly. So it looks like on orange,
Oh, okay, so
They-
Orange,
kept it with the bulk of Duchesne.
oh, so to do that, they took
They had to kind of,
most of Summit County. Or at least geography wise.
right, and it looks like then they kind of cut little bits into other portions of Duchesne rather than following the full county boundary. And then purple, we know what happens.
Green
And
did.
green did.
roughly what we did. Yes, go for it.
Are we interested in seeing how it looks now, or would you rather not know right now?
Well, you can show me what it looks like now.
So I guess I might argue it's the same, they just had to go even deeper 10 years ago, as opposed to.
So they went around Roosevelt. It looks like, right? Go ahead and zoom in.
Or the,
Yeah, they went all the way around Roosevelt. Which,
Roosevelt still isn't with most users of Duchesne, but
yeah,
kind of southern half of Duchesne into Carbon.
yeah. I would argue that it's more connected to Vernal from the comments that we got.
Right, well, especially because there's what is it right here, Ballard or something, there's that other
Ballard,
community
yeah.
right there. Like, they're with their next door neighbors rather
Yeah.
than. Right,
So, and, you know, the legislature has one map that has Roosevelt not split, so. Shows it can be done, but it's,
there's trade-offs.
you can't keep county boundaries. Now, you've already made one incursion into the county this way, but you've got to make essentially several incursions.
Yeah. And this is really just an issue for the house maps, right? It's saying
Yeah.
it kind of takes the larger basin area, it's all
Yep.
in the district.
Yeah, matter of fact, just show me the Senate, 3 minutes. Yeah. Very different to each of those.
I know, I was surprised actually.
We were just looking to make sure that the Senate maps Roosevelt isn't split from. And so on the House maps, there's one map that has Roosevelt included, but to do that, they had to make a whole bunch of jogs into Duchesne County.
Yeah.
So there are other parts of Duchesne County that aren't,
We're in winter.
yeah.
And it continues a lot farther south than the other two districts that have Roosevelt's. Green is very similar in this regard.
Yeah.
So it's really dagging you into have a Roosevelt short of a district.
But even if Roosevelt was in there, it goes over into Wasatch County, right?
In the orange one.
Well, either the purple or the green.
The purple, okay, so the green does go into Wasatch.
I spent much longer than I'd like to admit looking for the dongle.
Now Bluetooth now.
Yes, and then I realized, oh,
Thank you, sir.
yes. We're doing Jimmy John's for lunch. You just want the same stuff you guys got last time?
I don't need anything.
I'll have a
Sure.
Great, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And you don't want anything, Commissioner? Okay.
Thanks so much,
Yes.
Joey. Um,
Yeah, so in this map, you know, with Price being connected, Roosevelt's not gonna be any worse off being connected to Price than it is being connected to Vernal. And I would argue that the Vernal connection makes more sense.
I do too.
I mean, that's one of the things we heard, was that they were more basin, based.
Yeah, that's what we continually heard.
Yeah.
So with that said,
So I think
probably
we're,
feels appropriate.
yeah,
Anything else in house you wanna look at?
Well, just at some point, I guess, for us to do that other process to,
the district.
with the text
Review.
and the, screen.
And we can look at that now or we can look at it later, but really, in my head, the process would be something like, we look at District 1, we say, what's here? Do you remember anything about why we did that? Even without the, I think we can print out the descriptions, but I think they might be more overwhelming than they are helpful most of the time. It's a lot easier to just see.
Well, we can walk you through it. So if you want to do the house, we can walk you through this.
Sure. If you have anything else you want to look at first, go right ahead.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Then we think I'm gonna give myself a little text window somewhere to type some comments. And we also, the other thought we had was if it's easier for you to type up your thoughts at another time, or if we only get so far today and you want to finish them, we're just thinking something about, just a little blurb about whatever districts you have thoughts on will probably be helpful in describing them and defending them.
So I think the first thing to say is that districts 1, 3, 4, and 5 were revised after our public hearings in Logan to address, comments that we heard.
Such as what sort of
So
comments?
we heard, for example, if you'll zoom in at their over to your left just a little bit. Well, no, you zoom in the Cache County part, right there. Is it Mendon and Benson?
Yes. And we heard that they have far more in common with,
With the other the rural communities in Cache than they
with
did with
Logan.
Logan.
Yes.
That was Mendon and Benson.
And Benson. Okay. And then this little bit, this goes into Box Elder right
Yeah,
here.
so we had to go into Box Elder to pick up sufficient population to complete district.
And we felt like Garland and Tremont had more in common, obviously, with, shared that commonality with Benton and Benson.
Yes,
And then District 3 is the rest of Box Elder, so
Yes.
something had to
Yes.
come out of Box Elder.
Yes.
yes.
And then I have a text from somebody actually, Representative Daisy Provost. She has concerns about all the setbacks. So, do you mind if I give her a call?
Yeah.
Hate to see what,
Well, I told you that you insisted.
Oh, you're good.
Like from Jimmy John's.
All right, I'll take us back on.
thank you, sorry for that.
So we can go back to District 4 if you want.
Right, so District 3 is just Box Elder.
Yeah.
Not really. If I feel like I need to make any other comments, I'll let you know, but
Yeah, District 3, I don't know if that's center.
But District 4 is, so go ahead and show me the Logan city boundaries.
So we've included, we have to split Logan.
Yeah, so Logan had to be split. And so So District 4 keeps the northern part of Logan with,
So the university community.
the university communities kept whole, that was important to us. And then it's connected with North Logan, which allows District 1 to stay
More rural.
more rural.
I'll clean it up a little bit.
No, this is great, we were taking these notes.
So District 5 includes the south part of Logan and most of the on the east side of Highway.
Yeah, so most of the cities just outside of Logan, stopping just short of Hiram, and probably just population will be the reasoning. So I guess as many cities outside of Logan as would fit in the district.
In District 5.
And I'm trying to think,
Uh-huh.
is there anybody say anything about communities of interest with Wellsville and Highland?
There was something said about Wellsville.
And how far does that go down, south? We did Paradise as well, so Paradise, Highland, Wellsville,
Yeah, I think the comment was that Wellsville was different from Logan.
yes.
I don't think there was much more to it. than that.
So I could say we could, we took the other communities. The other,
So
communities in
Wellsville,
Cache,
Hiram, Paradise. And then we went down into
A little bit of Weaver,
mountainous part of Weber.
and that's more.
Morgan.
Is that all of Oregon looks like?
Yeah. I believe it's all of. Maybe not. Yeah, so all of
Yeah.
Morgan, rural parts of Cashville, and then it looks like a little bit.
Oh, yeah, there was that little sliver to pick up enough population.
So Pleasant View. Is that
And that's just Pleasant View. Just a portion of it.
I think we got all of it. Didn't we?
Oh, no,
Oh.
it's part
So
of
what is it
North Ogden.
next?
then.
Is it, oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah.
split North
Yeah.
Ogden. Yes.
So that's District 17. Largely rural, remainder of Cache. Morgan, and then North Ogden was just the
Yeah,
place to
okay.
pick
So
up.
the mountainous areas of Weaver and part of North Ogden to get sufficient population.
Uh-huh.
But but North Ogden is along those mountains, yeah.
Yeah. We use the road that goes up into the canyon
It's the divider.
as the divider down in the city.
So then if we look at District 6, maybe.
6 is another one of those, it's a new one.
Yeah, this is,
So it's primarily Lehigh.
Yeah.
It's made up entirely of Lehigh, well, for all intents and purposes.
and so I mean, I'm thinking there's only so much justification. I feel like if the comment is largely technical, it says it's, as much as Lehigh fits in district.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's a lot of other explanation for that.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and there may not be, can you think of any others specifically that you have questions, or do you wanna just keep on going down the list?
More, I was saying we just go. And again, so a lot of them can be, just keeping the areas together. So if you have any, you remember like areas, we can go look at the districts of the area. So if we remember, Moab said this or Provo said this when we were there, the things like that. Like we could, the Provo ones, we could say, I think all of them I put just, I
Our
put a
program,
note
we
at the
tried to
end,
use
we marked,
Neighborhoods,
yeah.
existing
So I think I just put a
neighborhoods.
note on the end of each of those, so I don't know if we got more than that, like where I remembered what we talked about, I included, but if you
Yeah,
remember any
thank you,
districts in
and I-
particular.
Yeah, no, and I think that's important, when we have had neighborhoods to look at, we truly utilize those for community of interest reasons. And then, maybe down in the south too, we'll get.
So here, there was, trying to keep cities whole as
Uh-huh.
much as possible.
Right.
Right.
And so if we look at a district and we say, oh, no, nothing sticks out, we can even, I don't have to take notes on every one, just
Okay.
for time reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this one's more of just a city's whole.
Yeah.
And show us, zoom in on 8.
So it's, I think, half of Ogden.
Which needed to be split.
So Ogden's in 3 districts.
So this is all, and I mean, Ogden's,
Okay, yeah, that, so
Just about
District
right.
8 is all in Ogden, looks like, right?
yeah. I mean, I think this is
Well,
unincorporated.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, all Ogden.
but again, for all intents and purposes, it's contained almost in its entirety.
Yeah.
within the city
Okay,
9,
Would, oh, I was gonna say 29 if you want.
oh, sure.
We were just keeping the cities, the other cities
uh-huh,
as whole as possible. With a small incursion into,
so we have Hooper, we have.
Yeah.
Roy,
I think Roy's in 9.
okay, so we did keep all of Roy.
Yeah, so it keeps sort of this,
So Harrisville,
and it looks like Harrisville's actually split just to, well, I'm sure more than just a little bit. I'm sure
oh, I
it's
remember, yes.
a substantial
yeah.
number. I mean, the hard thing for a lot of these comments, a lot of them will be, in some way, as simple as keeping cities together, population is needed.
Yeah.
Mhm, yes.
I think a good caveat on your maps are more than, a lot of times, like there was a switching to the imagery view and saying, is this a neighborhood? Is this not a neighborhood? Like on a very micro scale.
so then we kept Marriott Slaterville whole, it looks like.
District 29 may have been a later district in this one,
Well, what is that that's just to the west of, what's that right there?
right here.
That's unincorporated, I think.
I believe it is as well. It belongs to, or kind of adjacent to, I think, to Mary Slaterville.
That West Haven.
That's
there below.
Yep. So it's pretty darn close to full cities.
Uh-huh, it is. Thankfully.
District 9 is Roy,
Yes,
and largely just Roy.
that's all Roy.
Yeah, it's
All
all of
Roy,
Roy,
all the time.
and then
Half.
2/3 of Riverdale.
Yeah. I mean, that's simple enough.
District 11 included all of Hill Air Force Base.
And I don't know if you remember, did it start with like, was having Hill not be, I guess it's Hill one block? No,
Hill's several blocks.
so it's keeping Hill and then like adjacent areas.
Yeah,
That was the starting point of
we
that one.
chose to put Hill in that district.
Okay.
Part of that was that we needed to get sufficient population there on the west side to make the district whole.
Yeah, so there's a little,
No,
so is this is just all
that may be
adjacent to,
unincorporated.
yeah. Okay, so really it's Hill, everything
South
up to the
Weaver.
cities, a tiny bit of Clearfield, South Weaver into
Part of River.
the connecting district for Weaver.
Yep.
Okay. Twelve looks pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah,
So all of West Point.
yeah.
All of West Point, all of Clinton, and
What
then
about Syracuse?
Syracuse, it splits along two, at least straight line roads.
Mhm.
Clearfield, 13 we just looked at.
Yep.
And seem to prioritize keeping Clearfield whole without,
Clearfield is largely whole except for the housing adjacent to the Air Force Base on the east side of I-15.
and it also, it keeps Clearfield largely whole without splitting Layton a whole bunch of times. Which I
Well,
think,
it-
well, more times than you would have to.
It lessens
Yeah,
the
'cause-
splits.
Yeah, because like,
Yeah, Layton is diced up. And part of that's the geography of Layton. But part of it's the geography of the other cities. in the area, too.
So 16 is related to Layton district. 13 we've already talked about. 14 seems like it's just, it is half of or most of Syracuse, part of Layton. Kaysville was whole, or just about whole.
Almost.
So 15 is really the Kaysville district, though, probably.
Yeah.
And Fruit Heights
Kaysville
is
Fruit
whole.
Heights.
Farmington was. Oh, those are the same color. It was like, there's no way that district can be that big. Okay, nothing,
So Farmington and Centerville
Are
kept-
essentially their own district even. So not a lot to say on that one. Nineteen is Bountiful.
so it keeps that whole.
Except for.
Right over here.
Yeah, right.
But again, that's probably, what's Bountiful's population?
Too high.
Yeah.
Yeah, So
So
it had to be split.
so are you noting that on those two, well, then maybe that's helpful to note in the text that they had to be split?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say,
Exceeds the 43,000.
especially on these cities where it's close, I think making it very, like District
Uh-huh.
19 is just too many.
Hey. Oh, you're describing each disc, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Not everyone, just really the ones where you're like, it's Farmington and Centerville. I already got the technical part of that, but if we're like, oh, like it's important for people to realize that Bountiful split because it has to be, like just little things here and there, or we heard this in a public hearing. We'll put those ones bold or something. Do you want us to mute for a minute? District 19 is Bountiful, District 20 is the rest of,
Do we have West Bountiful?
so it looks like 20 is West Bountiful, Woods Cross, North Salt Lake.
And then we have a piece into the county.
But not into. Oh, then a piece into Salt Lake. I'm sure that was just for population.
Uh-huh.
And I guess that's,
And we tried to keep it in a fairly,
Compact.
yeah. Twenty-three is West Salt Lake. 24 is. So all of the Salt Lake districts were kept within Salt Lake with the exception of 20, just a little bit.
So do you have Salt Lake on there?
So Salt Lake's in red right here.
Okay,
So 23 is all Salt Lake, 24 is all Salt Lake, 28 is all Salt Lake, 25 is all Salt Lake.
okay, and
So there are two districts in Salt Lake City that are, three districts that are not wholly contained within Salt Lake City. There are four districts that are wholly contained within Salt Lake City.
so 25 is wholly contained, 28.
Yep. 24 and 23.
24.
And 20 we talked about already.
Yep.
26 connects it with West Valley, which,
And we did that purposefully too.
Yeah.
Because we looked
Yeah.
at different
Communities.
communities of interest.
and 35 is,
Well, it had to be
Is
split.
that South Salt Lake?
yeah. So it's really
but
South
it's
Salt Lake.
Connected to South, yeah. We're able to keep South Salt Lake whole.
So 36. Is that our part of Mill Creek?
Yeah, I think it's
Yes.
a lot of Mill Creek.
So 36 is wholly contained in Mill Creek.
Yeah.
With pieces of 37 and 35.
Wow.
Hello. Steal all the candy.
Hi, Lyle.
Well, I think the staff is hoarding most of the good candy right now. Wow.
Hey,
Hey, Rex brought some new chocolate chip one time.
Oh, yeah. It,
And it came from, look at this, Utah State University.
so they can hear these explanations before they read them. So 36 is really the Mill Creek district. 37 looks like it might be
Holiday,
yeah, you could call it the Holiday District probably if you wanted to.
so. It shows. What was the population of Holiday?
So Holiday's 32. So they're missing this little portion, but I think it's still certainly a very majority Holiday district.
So we couldn't keep Holiday altogether.
I'm guessing that it's because we had some leftover Mill Creek.
And it may even be actually,
And then to make sure that we had enough to go over it, we kept with the canyons, they're trying to keep.
Oh,
the
that's right,
canyons
this is the
together.
one. Okay, so this is important to know, I guess, for 54.
yeah, so I'll say 37 real quick
Yeah.
is
30
really the Holiday District.
Uh-huh. And, so if we can just go, zoom in to the, go to the west side of 54. And that's, if you could zoom in more so I can just see the specific streets.
I guess I'm gonna take this phone call really quick. That's the Salt
So
Lake
I
City.
215
Uh-huh,
is
because-
what we used as the barrier, it looks like. for the
We
most
did.
part.
And you'll see that, okay, so if you'll come down, go down a little bit more. Okay, you zoom in, okay, and then down, go up a little bit, no.
Oh, a little more.
You zoom in on those streets right there, above Holiday. So, so we've used 215 as the barrier there. And we have, if you could go and zoom in one more. Thanks too, so, okay, so we have Mount Olympus Cove. So I think that maybe that was why somebody had expressed concern anyway, but
Yeah.
but we have, so it's split at 215, we needed the numbers to go there, but.
But
and
we
there
tried to
could-
keep a distinct neighborhood together.
Yes, and if you'll go further south too, I think we took, did we go,
There's another neighborhood down below, I think.
and did we take the, go a little bit more south? I think we took the entry into the canyons as well, so that we were
Yes.
keeping, so down below Old Mill.
Yep.
Golf course, so we go into an area that goes out Big Cottonwood Canyon.
Yep.
So,
So this district has all of the canyon watersheds, ski resorts.
Yeah, except for Alta Brighton, right?
And Park City, as well as Hideout. We're able to do it on this one.
yes,
The neighborhoods leading into the canyons, that's in this Cottonwood Heights, we take a little bit of.
Cottonwood Heights, Holiday.
and a little bit, if we have the COVID there, if you go back, that does take a little part of Mill Creek, right?
Yes, I think so, yes.
So,
Holiday.
Yeah, but again, using 215 or
Uh-huh.
entrances to canyons is really the
yes,
justification.
yes.
Which I will say, we had a shocking number of communities of interest where all the people right along any of the mountains talked about how much they like to hike. They're like, our neighborhood really likes living right here on the
Oh, I
mountain.
love
We're
that.
different than the rest of our city a little bit because we really like just hiking over right away.
Oh, that's nice.
So lots of Provo and decent parts of Salt Lake. We had a lot of those. I think we couldn't decide to call them environmental neighbor
Yeah,
units or neighborhood units. We're like, maybe we should have recreational. We probably should have.
Yeah, or hiking. Hiking community.
yeah.
So 54 and 54 also, I'll make sure to comment somewhere. A lot of the Park City
It has the greater
area,
Park City area.
and that was very, at least as far as I remember, public meeting based as far as
Yes,
some of the
Yes,
ideas
we've
of
heard
how
a
far to go
very-
it
through
was
that.
very explicitly public meeting.
Yeah.
related.
Yes, yes, so this was influenced very much.
Yeah.
By the comments that we received.
I think there'll be a couple of districts where that's the most clear. So I think I'll note that somewhere. Back into Salt Lake a little bit. West Valley, I believe
West
that's,
Valley had to be split,
Yeah, a whole bunch.
but they get, I think, 2 full districts. Yeah. And then they're connected to Salt Lake City proper, Magna,
uh-huh,
and then a little bit of West Jordan. All of which feel like pretty,
yeah, and again, with this one, we were conscious of different communities.
Yeah, we're
which is
trying to pay
strong.
attention to communities.
I'll just give myself a little note. West Jordan keeps the districts.
2 or 3.
It looks 2 and a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, is this 38? Is that Kearns?
Yes.
So it had to be split 3 times.
West Jordan, yes.
West Jordan,
So
yeah.
Kearns, we might want to say that about 38, contains all of Kearns.
Yeah.
38's Kearns and then a little bit of West Valley. Yeah.
So are they calling you for the,
That's my understanding.
just don't want to keep you.
And it's Gordon made it so like Julianne might walk over.
Yeah, I thought
Get
Julianne
this
was
set up.
gonna come over.
I don't have any text from Julian yet, so So-
Okay.
34. It's just as much of Taylorsville fits, it looks like.
Did
Murray,
you show tables?
yeah, but now I gotta change my color again.
Make it white, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, that's the
That's
one we
very
said a
funny,
lot.
Yeah,
So Taylorsville had to be split.
so two districts.
It's in 2 districts. Okay.
43 is the part of West Jordan that's not its own district, but it goes with Taylorsville.
Okay.
And I'm sure most of Salt Lake there was some considerate, like, I don't know if you were like, did you remember this part, West Jordan and Taylorsville being more alike than, moving them into Kearns or something, probably?
I think that was, I don't remember that conversation on this one.
I don't either, I just know that we were glad to keep Kearns.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were trying to keep
And we knew we
communities
had to
whole.
we knew we had to split Taylorsville.
Yeah,
What was
and then we knew we
Taylorsville?
had to split West Jordan as well.
And so the two splits made more sense than the
Yeah.
one, yeah, okay. South Jordan, look.
So two,
And 77,000 has to be split into
Uh-huh.
2, and
and we did it almost half.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
well, one of them is, was District 50 go outside of South Jordan, it looks like a little bit?
just a
Yeah.
little bit into that's Riverton, I
Yeah.
think.
So we did, it looks like we split the city about in half.
Yeah. So you picked up kind of
So the
outskirts
likelihood
and
is
Copperton.
There'll be 2 representatives coming
Taylorsville,
from South Jordan. Isn't that South Jordan?
oh, South
Yeah.
Jordan, yes, you're right, sorry. I meant South Jordan. I think Mayor Ramsey's been following this process, by the way.
Midvale looks
Okay.
whole.
Oh,
Cottonwood Heights, I think is whole. I guess that 44 can be. I will know that one. There's like a clear kind of population center.
there was just that little piece.
Yeah.
That came out.
Yeah.
Small piece.
Sandy split. Yeah. And he's in 3 districts. It had to be in 3.
Yeah. Well, it's in 4. There's just a little bit in
Oh, there's a 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Midvale, but Midvale.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there are 5.
Oh. I think it's Midvale and Cottonwood Heights are both close to enough of a district. If they pick up part of Sandy,
Yeah.
they can finish it out. Sandy has 2 districts.
So District 45 and 49 are wholly contained within Sandy.
And it has enough for like 2 districts and change. So rather than having
Yeah.
10,000 people, we want to kind of let these other cities have a district.
Yes. On
Cottonwood Heights,
it's
we do have a
largely
little-
unsplit.
Yeah, largely, that's what.
Oh, largely, it's an excellent caveat.
Okay, so what do you have there?
Oh, so a little bit of Draper goes into
No, it's
South
District
Jordan,
50.
not Riverton.
Okay, with Draper, 3 districts,
Yep.
we know why it had to go the county line.
Yeah.
So we needed to pick up some population.
Yeah.
So it's,
So even
oh, it's
though-
51.
Even though Draper has 51,000, well, part of the problem is we had a little left over in Sandy.
Oh, that's right.
And so when you added that in, then, because that piece up the canyons, I don't think there's really 1,000 people up there.
No, I'm sure there's
Oh, well, maybe, no, 2.
Yeah, we're still on block group. But I mean, it also looks like Draper, just because it crosses the county line, is kind of maybe the
Yeah.
Buckle City of the county, so it has a little bit of Sandy.
Yep.
Lose a little bit, but it's the one that gets to cross the line then.
Yeah.
Because the rest of these are largely,
Okay, Riverton,
oh, this was. I think this was the area where I think all of these cities, I remember when we did it, got split. Maybe like Riverton, you could have only 2,000 people out. But instead, all of them followed really major roads and kind of gave,
yeah,
Riverton has a substantial, or not, like a noticeable portion of 52 rather than 2,000 people in 52.
Yeah.
And it picks up a little bit, like they all kind of shifted around
Right.
each other a little bit.
yeah, can you show us, Jeremy? Yeah, those are gonna be growing districts.
Yes, very much so.
Especially this 52 with this portion, because this is Olympia Hills,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So, explode.
All I know is it's a long ways out there.
I thought it was really interesting when the Eagle Mountain hearing, they seemed very almost resigned to the fact that they were just gonna keep growing forever. They're like, we already talked to the transportation, everyone.
Well, yeah, when you listen to them though, when they're saying, we're already at our full district right now.
Yeah.
Well, this breakfast.